As the title says, guys, my all-time favorite band is back with a new single. Man, what an absolutely crazy year 2021 has been in terms of music. Like, brand new Under Oath. Between the Buried and Me is making Colors 2. Delaware's Prada is doing a sequel to one of their best EPs. Like, I feel like a lot of the core bands that started off as core is like bringing back the intensity. Now with Thrice, I don't know if they will, because I think they're kind of done with that era, but we'll find out. But yeah, if you don't know Thrice, they're essentially started off as a post-hardcore band with like lots of metal influence, then went into rock, alternative rock, and just many different styles. They're my all-time favorite band because they have so much variety. Like, here's a little montage to show like how much this band has evolved over the years. Yeah, man, these guys keep evolving, and, you know, with each album, I really don't know what I'm going to get. And that's another reason why I love Thrice so much. If they go heavy again, I will literally shit a brick. But if they go back to, like, you know, evolution to what we heard off Palms, or even To Be Everywhere is to Be Nowhere, then I'll be happy with that as well, because I love Thrice. This is a band that does no wrong, in my opinion. Anyway, very, very excited to be hearing Scavengers by Thrice. So I think that's all we need for chit chat. So let's fucking do it. Go. Interesting timing, man. Dustin sounding raspy again.
Every word is a dissonant whisper. Got you wearing a smile like a mask. And all you're left with is
really like Riley's drum playing here. Interesting beat, man. Ooh. Okay. Slight variation with the drumming here, and Eddie coming through with the bass. Now here we go. Second verse.
Every tether is tangled and twisted. They slowly sever your heart from the whole. Iron shackles, hungry jackals with eyes like coal. Underfoot as you steal past the gallows, brittle branches or pieces of gold. Feel your chest heat.
The chord progression though, man.
Come and take my
I love it when they let the notes ring out between, like, together. Thrice has always been so good for that. I'm assuming that's Dustin doing that guitar layering.
I will find you in the black light of that cold, dry land. Never mind who held you last night. Come and take my, come and take my hand. I will find you in the black light of that cold, dry land. Never mind who held you last night. Come and take my, come and take my hand. I will find
Oh, there we go.
in the black light of that cold, dry land. Never mind who held you last night. Come and take my hand. Come and take my hand.
I like the evolution to their logo. But okay, yeah, let's talk about this track. Okay, before we get started on with the review of the track, I do want to mention that anytime Thrice releases a new single off an album, I'm always a little bit indifferent about a track. It takes a couple more listens for me to appreciate it. But then I also feel like Thrice releases singles that I like more later on in this album cycle. So To Be Everywhere is To Be Nowhere. They released Blood on the Sand. I was really unsure about that track, and it's actually still one of my least favorite songs off that album. Then they put out Hurricane and Black Honey, and some of my favorite Thrice songs right there. And then Palms came out. The Gray and The Dark are songs that, again, I'm not very crazy about. But then Only Us came out, and I absolutely love that song. So I'm hoping that's the case here, because I felt like this song was a little bit monotone. There was some interesting instrumental patterns going on that kind of like I appreciate, especially from Riley's end. But overall, I felt like this song was... we'll go through it. So let's go through the pros and cons. So pros, number one, I really like Riley's drumming. I thought Riley's drumming was really good. I also like the timing of this song, because Thrice has always been a band that's they have like the technicalities, but it's very subtle technicalities. It's never at the forefront, because they're not at all by any means a shreddy band, even though back in the day they used to have like some cool licks and stuff. But they're very focused on like these cool chord progressions, layering, and playing around with the timing. I feel like that's kind of the direction that they're going now, rather than being skilled at guitar. And they never been like that, because I know Dustin even mentions that he appreciates the feel of what he's playing more than actually the technical ability of what's going on. So yeah, I thought all that was really good. The tone on the guitars were good too. I felt like I was a little bit indifferent about some of the tones on Palms, but I feel like this is a better approach, because To Be Everywhere is Nowhere, I really love some of the guitar tones in that, and just like the dirty raw sound to it. And it reminded me of like Visu and Beggars like mixed. And here it seems like an evolution of like Beggars kind of sound in terms of tone. So I thought that was really good too. Dustin's vocals are always like really good. It's always like he's got that raspy sound to it, and his voice ages like fine wine, man. Ooh, speaking of fine wine, cheers. It's not just juice. But yeah, so I like Dustin's vocals, and I thought there was some cool switch ups, which I appreciated. You know, second verse, they took away the guitars, let the bass come through, things like that I always like. The bridge had a cool section as well, and then I also appreciate the outro where they elevated the last chorus. Things like that, so it's never copy and paste, and it just like they play around with what's going on in the structure, so I like that. All right, cons. So I guess the con with this song is that it felt very monotone a little bit. The chorus did have like a big oomph moment when, you know, the big distorted chords came in and everything else, but I felt like vocally the song was just a little bit more mellow, and I think that's what they're going for. But as a first single for an album, I don't know how I feel about it, because it just felt very plateaued, and you know, it got a little bit more different in the second verse, and then again they elevated with the bridge and stuff, but still I felt like Dustin's vocals were not he wasn't using his range as much as he could, and I don't think that's the kind of track that we're getting. But again, this is the first single off an album, so I'm just judging it based off that. And I guess I felt like the BPM was a little bit slow for my liking, where the pace of the song really felt a little bit slow. And I know they've kind of been slowing down the BPM quite a bit ever since To Be Everywhere Is To Be Nowhere. But with this song, I felt like it dragged on quite a bit. And like, I know the drumming and everything was like a little bit more upbeat with what's going on technically, but I felt like the song was almost clocking at 5 minutes, and I felt that 5 minutes. I think they could have brought it down to probably like 4 minute mark, and I would have been satisfied with the time length, but I felt like the pacing struggled for me. That's another thing. But yeah, those are the two cons, and honestly, those are pretty big cons. Overall, this track was, it's a good track. I'm really, really wondering what the rest of this album will sound like, because again, I never judge Thrice's albums based off the first single, because like I said, every time I hear more singles from the album cycle, I continue to get more impressed. But this song alone didn't really overly satisfy me as a Thrice fan, but at the end of the day, I'm just glad that Thrice is making music again. I absolutely love this band. I respect this band so much, but I can't be biased. I have to give fair reviews to every band I listen to, because what's the point? Like, I can't be biased, man. Seriously. But, okay, that's my thoughts on Thrice Scavengers. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are, so comment down below. Spice up my life. What did you guys think of this tune? I'm curious to know. Thrice fans, do you disagree with me or agree with me? I'm also curious to hear that. And if you got to this point of the video and you haven't clicked off yet, then I appreciate the shit out of you, man. But on that, thank you for tuning in. Till next time. Peace.